Hello, everyone. This is Adonis, and I'm here to give my thoughts and observations of the Kingdom Hearts 4 teaser trailer that we got from Nintendo, because Nintendo is just cool like that. And so I am using the version from the Kingdom Hearts official YouTube. So this version of the trailer does not actually have the UI elements. Some trailers do. I will touch on that a little bit at the end. Well, I just want to get into this and kind of start dissecting it as we go. So immediately, that voice is Ava's Japanese voice actress. Does this mean that this black-robed figure could be Ava? Maybe, maybe not. But this is something to keep in mind. It could be Ava. It could be that because, you know, quote unquote, her role was done, she was murked off and sent to Quadratum by Lucio. Or she somehow found a way to get there on her own. I'm going to be pausing and talking a lot. But our arrival here brought those concepts with us. So in the world of Quadratum and Unreality, there was no manifestations of darkness, but going back just a little bit, manifestations of what we know as light and darkness. Light manifestations. Could that be referring just to the Keyblades and all the weird magic they can do? Could that be kind of a segue into some other kind of enemy in the future? Is the Lost Masters saga setting up light as a potential enemy or something that can manifest? Who knows? Also, just dark. Well, okay, this is actually a good place to pause as well. Can I go back a few frames? This trailer does not show it very well, but other trailers show it better. Those triangles right there are traffic cones, basically dissolving into shapes. Don't know what all that's about. And then, of course, Sora continuing to use the whip chain keyblade thing from that he's able to spawn from the bottom of Kingdom Key. Yeah, those are traffic cones losing their structure because there's darkness in this world now. So that's going to be an interesting story element. I think that's going to be part of the build feature that's supposed to be coming in with Kingdom Hearts 4 instead of, you know, as the bottom command menu. Oh, hold on. Gotta go back a few frames. We'll get to you in a second, pretty boy. Triletia, again, looks a little different from each trailer. A lot of people and I have been talking about that. It could just be the camera angle, the lighting, the composition, the change from Unreal Engine 4 to Unreal 5. Honestly, I don't really think this is anything of note. They've been developing this. They're converting a 2D mobile game character into a 3D model. They're going to tweak it as they go until they finally release the game. Then we have this dude, this pompous looking dude, who almost looks pleased with what's happening. As you can see, his eyes are not, you know, the typical light side green or blue. It's not, you know, darkness yellow, although that's really a Xehanort thing. But he is wearing this purple outfit that's very intricate. This could just be some random person who's wearing a purple outfit because they really want to. Or this could be Sigurd. People seem to really think it might be Sigurd. I'm also part of that team. So I think this could be them. How they got here, who knows? Could be related to something with Missing Link, which we'll talk about briefly later in the video. Or just they died and came here. But with the astral plane and all that fun stuff for Missing Link, which I hope they find a way to explain in Kingdom Hearts 4, because only like 1% of people got to actually play the Missing Link beta. So I'll explain why missing link's important. Again, more in depth later. But then you have this guy who's wearing, well, let me find a better frame. There we go. There's a better frame of your face, good sir. A lot of people are saying this is Valley, the upperclassman who died in Dark Road. And I'm inclined to believe. Black hair, spiky style, face mask. Kind of like how Valley has that whole entire ninja mask thing going on. This could be Valley. And I think that's interesting to bring up because Valley died in Scala, which is a Kingdom Hearts original world. And Sigurd was seen in a Kingdom Hearts original world as well. And Sora technically died in a Kingdom Hearts original world. You see where I'm going with this. We could potentially see other upperclassmen or other of Xehanort's classmates who ended up in this world after they died. This place is a purgatory or an afterlife for Keyblade wielders. Why not? All right. And then we have who I'm pretty sure is a Luxord. Of course, it's going to be whatever his real name is, but I'm pretty sure that's Luxord. This is Luxord as a somebody who, depending on the secret cutscene at the end of Kingdom Hearts 3 Remind, may or may not be a native to Quadratum. So that means Luxord might know a way between the realms. Black feathers. This is where Missing Link comes back in. So the black feathers were used to control people in Missing Link, like mind control, by two people whose names I don't remember, and I'll probably throw up on screen along with some images of them. But they are named after Odin's two eyes. And it'll make more sense when I throw it up with full explanation on screen. So why they need to explain Missing Link aspects in this game, or at least enough of the Missing Link aspects to make this make sense, because otherwise people might be going into this game and not knowing anything about the black feathers and like, why the hell is the Master of Masters able to control people with black feathers for no reason? What's going on? All right. Oh, I meant to pause sooner because there's a lot of things to cover here. We'll get back to you in a second, young Xehanort, with your broken umbrella. Okay, so this is obviously, Donald Goofy, Blue Flames. We know that in Kingdom Hearts Dark Road, Xehanort and some of his classmen went to Hades, of all people, to be like, hey, you're the Lord of the Dead. Can we speak to our dead friends and figure out what's going on? Because they might have some vital information. And Hades was like, yeah, for a cost. And, that's a whole thing. But in short, Donald and Goofy are probably in the underworld at Olympus, wanting to talk to Hades with the intent of, getting some help finding Sora. That's probably the only reason they're there. That's Hades being pissed off. And then we have this wonderful scene. Oh my goodness. This one particular scene. Broken umbrella, not being even held in the direction of the rain, because the wind is blowing from like here at the top right down. This is just depressing on so many levels. And it's just Sora on the ground. And when he's on the ground like that, he's pretty much admitting defeat to whatever's happening. And the person that comes to comfort him is fucking young Xehanort. But his umbrella is broken now, unlike from all the teaser art that Nomura has been doing. So this is probably either, when Xehanort and Ericus died and went into the light, they may have both ended up here in Quadratum. Because, afterlife for Keyblade wielders. Or Xehanort could be by himself because this is his 14th life that he talked about wanting to have in order to see the next world or the new world when he was talking to Ericus at the end of Dark Road. So, near the end of Dark Road. to be more accurate. So this is definitely a version of Xehanort. It's just a question of whether it's truly a young Xehanort or if it's just old man Xehanort in his young body that we saw when him and young Ericus went into the light. That, I have no idea which it could be. It's a 50-50. All right. Okay, it's going to be hard to get a good frame of this unless I go frame by frame. But obviously, this is not Kingdom Key. This is, you know, a Keyblade that looks like it's got some fire aspects, some water aspects to it. I've seen a lot of people online say that it could be Moana. I've heard some people say it could be from Elemental. Honestly, looking at it, it could be from either, but it's got this... Hold on. There we go. That's what I want to see. Also, Sora's fighting styles become more aggressive, but not important. So it is hard to tell. But it's got this like weird symbol thing up here. Where the blade and the guard meet. It almost looks like the symbol that you could find in like Odin's classroom in Scala. Because that map with some mods and cheating is available on Kingdom Hearts 3 to access. And I think that's something interesting to keep in mind. But I don't know why Odin's classroom symbol, like the big old structure in there, would have a relation to the fire and water. So this is definitely from some kind of Disney Pixar movie. The symbol is just interesting. It will probably make more sense when we learn what world it's actually for. The kind of like strike raid where the chain is left behind, because you can see Kingdom Key's without its chain right now. That then turn into projectiles that he can then fire. That's so cool. Okay, he's got the chain back. And then, of course, these are the Light of the Past Keyblades. These are like from the Keyblade Graveyard. This is an interesting way to translate that moment into some kind of summonable. But going back to the actual summoning. There we go. I think this is a good spot. Nope. A little further back. So look at the shape of that door that everything just came out of. So this could be one of those manifestations of light. So, you know, it may not be necessarily that the light is a bad manifestation like the darkness is. But this is a similar shape to the heart binders in Kingdom Hearts 3. So this could be what we use for summons, or this is like we can build a replica or a representation of the light from the past. And also, here's something I haven't seen people online point out yet. Look at that jewelry business symbol. It's that like a nice tiara, and then behind it is the Kingdom Hearts heart symbol. That's cool. I haven't seen anyone point that out. I got distracted pointing that out. But that's something to keep in mind. So I just think that's neat. All right. Something to point out here. This dark side is full of Heartless. Look at all those eyes right there. Look at them. That's terrifying. It's a dark side made out of Heartless. Like other Heartless. It's not just one big giant Heartless. I think that's pretty cool. Terrifying, but cool. All right, and then we get to the logo, multi-platform at launch, all that fun stuff. One last thing I have to point out here before I get into the UI elements that I can remember seeing online that aren't in this particular copy of the trailer. That was a frontal block, but it puts a barrier around Sora. So I don't know if we have a barrier block or if we have to block in the right direction and then we get a barrier around us as a reward for blocking. I'm sure we'll find out. So yes, that is pretty much all that there is, at least from the Kingdom Hearts YouTube channel version of the trailer. I think something to point out is that this sounds like English Sora battle lines. I could be wrong. And in this part right here, where we see this other Keyblade, there are special commands and whatnot that can show up here. And there's a few reaction commands that show up throughout the trailer. But again, since I'm using the version that doesn't have the UI, it's kind of hard to point that out in this video. Honestly, I think they're kind of cooking. I think we may get a Kingdom Hearts 4 next year. I'm willing to bet maybe as a summer or fall title. Well, maybe not fall because of GTA 6 scaring all the other competitors. Maybe summer or winter title? Because spring is going to be ate up by Final Fantasy VII Revelations. And that's, of course, if it even comes out next year at all. With that, I think there's not much else I can point out in this trailer. So, if you all enjoyed, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and stick around for the next video. Till then, stay awesome.